Hi, my name is Paul Wilson. I'm the creator of Swing Machine Golf and the director of the Paul Wilson Golf School at Bears Best Las Vegas. In this tip, I'm going to teach you how to stop skying the golf ball. So first off, we've got to understand what a skied shot is. Well, a skied shot is a shot that goes up very high. So it's hit with woods because the ball is on a tee when we play these golf clubs. So if we take our ball like this and we put it on a tee, it's obviously elevated from the ground. And that creates room between the ground and the ball. So if the ball's up in the air and your golf club comes in a descending position, what happens is the golf ball hits the very top of your golf club, and that's what creates this very high shot. So if you've hit this shot before, you kind of know exactly what I'm talking about. After you do it, you usually see some marks on the very top of your golf club, which can actually ruin your club. So we want to definitely stop doing that so that we can hit our ball with a lot more power, plus you're going to be able to save your golf clubs. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to create more of a level or an ascending position with the golf club so it sweeps the ball more off the tee as opposed to hitting down with the golf ball teed up. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Well, first off, let's take a look at a couple of things that can cause that to happen. Well, the first thing is just playing the ball in the wrong position. So if you take the golf ball and you move it back in your stance, well, the golf club is still going to be on its way down as it approaches the ball. So if the club's on its way down, that can potentially go underneath the golf ball and cause it to pop up. So the first thing we want to do is check our ball position. So as far as the ball position with the driver is concerned, we want to play that off the inside of our left heel. So the best way to do that is to just start off with your feet together. Then you put the head of your driver down. Right here, we are just going to basically turn our forward foot out. We're not moving our forward foot because the ball is already off of my instep. So from right here, I turn my foot out and then I do my driver stance. So if I do that, the ball should be off inside of my forward heel every single time. Okay, so that's very, very simple. So make sure you're coming in like this. Start with your feet together and you're drawing a line from here to the ball. Okay, you put your driver head behind the ball and you just turn your forward foot out and then you do your driver stance. Okay, so that's a real easy way to fix your ball position. So maybe that alone will stop you from skying it. But typically people, even though their ball is in the correct position, they still hit the odd skied shot. So what happens is when you do that, we're in a position where we are actually getting ahead of the ball in the downswing. So as we go to the top of the backswing, like this, typically we're going to be trying to hit the golf ball with our hands and arms, and in that process your whole body ends up moving a little bit ahead of the ball. So if that's the case, the club is then on its way down as it comes into contact, and of course the ball hits the top of the head and you sky it. Okay, so we want to try and stay behind the ball a little bit better, and then we'll create a more of a sweeping action with the golf club, which will make it impossible to sky your shots. Okay, so the first thing we need to do when we're trying to fix this is we want to make sure that our head is actually moving a little bit as we go into our backswing. So if you've followed any of my previous tips, you'll know that I want you to coil your body properly as you go into your backswing. And in that coiling process, your head will be moving a little bit over this back leg or back instep as you hit the top of your backswing position. So we want to try and learn how to coil properly. If we're in a situation where we're just moving our shoulders kind of like a seesaw, you can see that my head actually moves a little bit forward here, or it can end up staying in the same place. Now from there, it's pretty easy to get ahead of the ball on the way down. So first thing you want to be doing is definitely practicing with this golf club on the back of your shoulders here. Just feel like you're turning this golf club a lot more like a helicopter, the blades on a helicopter, and if you can do that, you can see that my head is actually moving as I'm making that coiling motion. So as we do that into our backswing from here, if we coil properly, our head moves so that our nose is over our back instep at the very top of the backswing. Now, that's kind of only half of it. Once we get the head moving, we want to keep our head there as we come down to hit the ball. Because again, if we move forward, the club will be descending. If I'm hitting the golf ball from back here, the golf club will be coming through level or slightly on the way up as it hits the golf ball. Okay, so the way I can get that, it's pretty simple. I just take the label on the golf ball, so we got the label here, and we're going to face the label in this direction. Okay, so we tee it up like this, and we point the label over this way. Okay, so now, as I go to the top of the backswing, I want to be able to see that label. If my head moves this way, I'm not going to be able to see the label. And if I'm on the way down in the downswing, I'm not going to see the label. So as I hit the top of the backswing, I'm looking for that label. And then as I go to hit the shot, I also want to be looking at that label. Okay, so if you do that, you'll stay behind it, which will create that more of a sweeping action of the golf club, and then you'll stop skying it. Okay, so from right here, we go into our backswing, looking at the label, and then we look at that label as we're hitting our golf ball. Okay, so if you can do that, you'll definitely stop that position where you're ahead of the ball, and you'll definitely stop the skied shots. Okay, give those things a try next time you go out to practice, and then of course apply it when you go to play. You'll never sky the ball again. Make sure you ask your questions, post your comments below. I'll try to get to as many as I can.